My job today is to get up there and try and fix this awful bit of the roof where tiles are missing. And basically this roof part is what I'm going to try and repair today as best I can. That's got to be fixed over yet, but I'm just kind of doing it as I go up. And at some point soon I'll get that roof ladder on and then I can go up and do it all off of that. But for the moment it's working out, which is amazing.
Certainly looks very good, Poppet. What's going down, Poppet?
What's going down? It's a shame really, so I've spent already about a day and a bit repairing this bit.
Cottage number 3. The one we're meant to be
repairing the huge great hole that was in the roof that we're moving into
for the summer, because we're renting our cottage out, as many of you know.
So when we got up there, I had high hopes for the tiles that were on there because they were quite thick slate. The tiles,
They're a good gauge, aren't they? When we first saw them, we thought, bloody hell, they were good quality when they were put on.
Yeah, so I thought we had half a chance of
repairing.
Repairing the holes and all that sort of stuff, and just sweeping across the roof and make good, and it would hopefully do us for a couple of years more, whatever. That was the plan.
And you started off really well as well.
Yeah,
you got the framework up to extend over that bit of wall, so we were keeping the weather out.
It was only ever kind of temporary, but hopefully like a year or two is temporary. But
we were hoping it would just bide us some time, because you know, as everyone knows, there's like umpteen amount of roof work here. So like 6 roofs and counting that we need to replace. So it was just about getting a bit more time out of them, wasn't it?
It was. But we took the roof ladder up there this morning, and I've been using that, you know, to do what I'm doing. But every single time either one of us gets on that ladder, tiles are just cracking underneath. Which is really disheartening, because I really thought that, you know, we were in with a chance. We could sweep across the roof, repair all the holes and slip tiles, you know, and that would do us. But
just confirms again how shot to bits all those tiles are, doesn't it?
It is, you know, and I've just come to the conclusion that my time is better spent doing other stuff. What? I put my teeth in.
No, my time is too good to be spending on this.
Well, I'm just spending hours, you know, chasing my tail, trying to repair it.
Exactly.
So
we'll be here all day, so
decided is...
What's the plan?
We're going to, at some point, not immediately, but at some point we're going to strip that roof.
Just this side?
Just this side, take the tiles off, change the battens and any timber work that needs doing.
Put the membrane on.
Put a membrane on and re-batten it ready for the tiles when we've got them.
But we'll make sure that's done within... It'll just have to become part of the priorities here at the Boulier, won't it?
That and Cottage 5.
And Cottage 5, which we were going to redo with tiles this side, the one we've already stripped, I think now has to, because Cottage 5, realistically, it isn't going to be turned into a livable, rentable cottage anytime immediately. So we're going to replace whatever timbers we need to on there, put a membrane on there, batten that, and then put tin sheets on there.
Tin roof.
Just to kind of tide us over, because our kind of priority now has shifted to Cottage 2.5, as you all know from the collapse, Cottage 3, because we need to be living in that whilst we rent out our cottage. So cottage number 1.
Cottage 2. So,
exactly. So the main focus is on Cottage 2, 2.5 and 3 now. It has to be for the next year, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's pretty much.
So that's the plan. So it's tinged with sadness, but we just have to work with things here at the Boulier. We often find that, don't we?
Try and reuse what we can, but realistically,
we can't do that.
It's just going to, you know.
If we can't even get on the roof with that excellent roof ladder that distributes the weight, and tiles are still cracking, then it tells us all day long that they're shot to bits. You know, they're not fit for the purpose, are they? Anyway, so we'll move on with the new information, won't we?
Yeah.
And carry out what Le Boulier wants, which often seems to be the case here. We might have an idea about what we want to do, and then Le Boulier will tell us what she wants to do. Anyway, well done, Poppet. Anyway,
so now we're going to get the tools and that down, and I'm going to crack on with something else, and you're going to.
I'm going to start
cottage 3, preparing our living accommodation. We're prepping this cottage, which is cottage number 3, for our arrival, because we're renting our cottage out this year, so we need somewhere to live.
So we're going to prep this very large room with a nice open fire. Oh, what?
But we're just clearing it all out, and I'm prepping under the stairs for our toilet bathroom.
Let's do a 360 and we'll end up in the area that you're prepping. So you'll be able to see that there's a lot to clear.
And a lot to do.
I'll go slowly so no one gets motion sickness. A lot to clear, a lot to do. Most of the walls we want to be bare stone so we can point them, and feels like we're living in a cave.
It lightens it up as well, doesn't it?
But there's a lot in here. So I'm prepping part of the barn. Here we go.
Stairs. I'll stand where the toilet's going to be.
Pretend you're on the toilet, Paul.
Something about
there you go. What are you doing at the moment then? We've got a load of torchis, what they call torchis on the wall, which is like a mixture of, it looks like
clay,
straw, mud, clay.
It's all very damp, so it's got to come off.
It's got to come off. The wall's got to breathe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which again is why we'll continue to have lovely fires in here, just to dry the walls out, clean the walls out, ready for us to point them.
So I get rid of all this pipe work.
Yeah.
These 2 old sink fittings.
Yeah.
And then start making some holes in the 3-4 foot thick walls here.
Oh yeah, it's quite thick. Let's show
So there's that thickness from there to there, and obviously that continues there to there. So we need to come through that lovely wall there. Someone has done at some point. Get the lovely verbena out of the way.
For their little outside tap.
For their little outside tap. And the shockingly ugly ceiling they did around that. Anyway, we'll be taking all that out. And somewhere along here, about here I reckon, Paul.
Yeah, you're right. In a little bit, that's it.
Will be the exit for the waste pipe.
Yeah, something like that would be good. Behind that little baby.
It'd be great if we could just take out that one stone and there was just little stones behind that. Anyway, lots to do.
Yep.
But that's the start of it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's marvellous, isn't it?
Come on, strip that torchis off the wall. You're having a wonderful time there, Paul, aren't you?
They really didn't want them to move, did they? Absolutely solid in there, they are.
I think when we came here, we remember like a big slab of slate or marble was on there, wasn't it?
It would have had the sink on there because there's 2 taps here.
Of course.
And the drainage.
Bloody hell. They made a right mess of that wall when they did it, didn't they? That awful white cement they've used.
It's strong as an ox, that stuff.
Anyway, they didn't want it coming out, did they?
I'm going to cut them off at an angle and then make good all that stonework.
I reckon that's a good idea. We can't excavate the wall anymore. That's quite, they're quite in there, aren't they?
My forearms can't take any more of that.
I bet they can't. I bet they're like Popeyes, aren't they? So you got the grinder there, cutter.
Cut them off.
Let's do it. One down, one to go. No hope for it now. Oh, what?
Well done, everyone.
Oh, if this was smell-o-vision, people would really...
No,
It stinks.
but they're out. That's the main thing.
They're out. That's great.
You never know they'll be there when I finish that little
No,
wall.
exactement. Exactement, Paul. Well done. Good little job for today, isn't it?
Just got to clear up now. That's the trouble.
Yeah, you hate that bit. I don't mind doing that.
Well done.
You leave
Make a
that to
great
me.
team, don't we? I'll make the
We
mess.
are. Yes, you make the mess. It's been like that for 21 years, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Paul makes the mess, I clean it up.
You look under the stairs in a minute. I'm keen to see. We've got to get under there. So
Yeah,
fix
some of the
steps.
lower steps are damaged, aren't they? So we're going to need access to that before we put a toilet in there.
But I think now we need to open that door so we get some air through here.
Let's do that. It's going to be a lovely little place, it is.
It will.
Once all this junk is out of here, we'll be able to see the wood for the trees.
Yeah.
But for now, it's a wonderful job, Paul.
Thank you.
Look at that light streaming in through that front window.
It's lovely light, isn't it?
It's beautiful, it is, isn't it? Look at those sun rays. Nice big windows here. Really treating us to your melody, aren't you? Right then, Poppet. I'm going to crack on with what I'm doing. I'll leave you to expose that wall.
Okey dokey.